Hello students, today's topic of this video lecture is on reproduction in plants. The process of producing new individuals from their parents is called reproduction. Plant reproduction is the process by which plants produce new individuals or offspring. The vegetative parts of the plant are the roots, stems and leaves, and the reproductive parts of the plant are the flowers. In plant, there are two main types of reproduction. They are asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction. In plants, there are different types of asexual reproduction. They are vegetative propagation, budding, fragmentation, spore formation, and etc. Vegetative propagation. In this method, new plants are produced from the vegetative parts like the root, stem or leaves. For example, if the stem cutting of a rose plant or money plant is planted in the soil, we can get a new plant. Another example, potato has small buds called eyes. If a part of the potato with an eye is cut and planted in the soil, we can get a new plant. If a part of ginger is planted in the soil, we can get a new plant. Bryophyllum has buds in the leaves. If a part of the leaf with bud is planted in the soil, we can get a new plant. Another example, if a part of a cactus plant is planted in the soil, we can get a new plant. Now, budding. Take an example of yeast. In budding method, a small projection called bud is formed on the yeast cell. The bud grows and becomes new yeast cell. The new yeast cells also grow and produce more yeast cells. Fragmentation. In this method, the plant breaks up into two or more fragments and each fragment grows into new plants. Spore formation. In this method, the fungus produces spores. The spores germinate and produce new plant. Now, sexual reproduction. Flowers are the reproductive parts of the plant. Stamen is the male reproductive part and pistil is the female reproductive part. Flowers which have only the stamen or only the pistil are called unisexual flowers. For example, maize, papaya, cucumber, and etc. Flowers which have both the stamen and pistil are called bisexual plant. For example, rose, mustard, and etc. The stamen has a filaments and anther. The anther contains pollen grains which contain the male gametes. The pistil has stigma, style, and ovary. The ovary contains ovules which contain the female gamete or egg. In sexual reproduction, the male and female gamete fuse together to form a zygote. Pollination. The transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of a flower is called pollination. Pollen grains are transferred by wind, water, or insects. If pollen grains lands on the stigma of the same flower, it is called self-pollination. If pollen grains of one flower lands on the stigma of another flower, it is called cross-pollination. Fertilization. The process of fusion of the male and female gametes to form a zygote is called fertilization. After fertilization, the zygote develops into an embryo. The ovule then develops into the seed and the ovary develops into the fruit. Now the last stage is seed dispersal. The carrying away of seeds from one place to another is called seed dispersal. Seeds are dispersed by wind, water, and animals. Seeds dispersed by wind are light, have wings or hairs so that they are easily blown away by wind. For example, drumstick, maple, sunflower, and etc. Seeds dispersed by water have a spongy or fibrous outer cover so that they can float on water. For example, coconut. Seeds dispersed by animals have spines with hooks so that they can attach to the bodies of animals. For example, xanthium.